Okay, so I went to go see Evil Dead Burn yesterday. It was one of the most anticipated horror films. I anticipated its arrival for quite some time now. Its release, and it wasn't really a bad movie. It was it was all right. I expected a bit more from it. I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like a diva or nothing. Like, oh, it just wasn't that good. But I guess from like what I was hearing from people, I thought it'd be a bit more intense. So I guess that kind of caught me off guard. But one thing I will say about Evil Dead Burn, I liked. I'm not going in. I'm clearly not gonna go in order in this video. I really liked how in the movie, like the way certain things were filmed, like the creepy shit. Like for an example, spoiler alert before you continue watching. Um, when the father gets possessed and starts whooping the son's ass, I like this one part where he smashed his son on the TV where they were playing the wedding video of you know, the main character's dead husband. And when he did it, the TV froze, it got hit by with a body at a certain a clip of the husband smiling so like evil. So it looked so creepy. And I liked how instead of in the trailer that they released, the first one, the teaser trailer, where it was chaos going on in the house, you saw people getting their ass whipped everywhere. That it was nowhere near as much light in the room as it was in the teaser trailer. Like the teaser trailer, it was like really well lit. It was just chaotic. And this one, it was like flashing. The TV was flashing. It was dark as fuck. You just see people just getting thrown around everywhere. And I really like that shit because I feel like it really brought out a lot more. And it gave the situation a lot more anxiety because you're just looking like, oh, dude, this is terrible. And like the contrast of like the happiness in the video, the wedding video, and the sadness, the craziness that's going on inside the house at that very moment. I really did like that touch. That was really good. That was really creepy. Um, I don't think this movie was scary, right? Maybe because I'm just desensitized from horror films because I've watched so many. But I was not scared at all watching it. I was looking for a cameo from maybe one of the older characters because I believe in the book when she was going through it, the grandfather that was one of the wise men, I believe, he actually had a record or an old newspaper about Evil Dead 2013, which is my personal favorite. It was the most intense in my opinion. And I was hoping to see a cameo from Mia or something, but that didn't happen. Um, I did, I did like the comedy in it. I thought it was pretty funny. I think the Deadites were done really well. The way they were acting, they were a lot more manipulative in this film than previous films that I've seen. Like I know they're always manipulative, but I feel like in this one, I feel like even though there was a lot of brute force being used, there was a lot more like okay, we're a thinking beast, So they're doing a lot more fucking with you mentally. Like for an example, let me I think the boyfriend, right, the boyfriend whose girlfriend got a fucking car seat through the fucking face. Let me go ahead and like look up the cast right quick so I can make sure I say his name properly. What did it burn? Let me look up the cast. The boyfriend, he was getting his ass whooped this entire movie. Jeez, it was terrible. Um, Sorry, let me look him up. Yes, Joseph. Joseph was getting his ass kicked. But the part I really want to focus on was the fact that his girlfriend, when she got possessed, she didn't really just beat his ass though, right? Like his dad did. His dad beat his ass for real. The way his girlfriend was whooping his ass when she got possessed, it was all a mental game, right? Because he was a very weak man mentally. I don't want to come at him, but clearly he was very easily scared, right? So the main actress definitely had a lot more backbone than him. I think her name was in this movie. Her name was Alice, right? I believe, and she had a lot more backbone than him. He was getting his ass whooped, and the way the girlfriend got him, specifically the kitchen scene, is the one I want to talk about. Um, he had a weapon, and she knew he was scared. First of all, right before it even started, she walked in, and they had like a swinging door. So like before she walked in, she caught a glimpse of him through the crack, and she cracked a smile, and she was just talking her shit. Oh, now you're brave. Now you're confident, and just stepped towards him. And she just jumped at him in the slightest, and his dumb ass fucking fell on the sharp ass dishwasher with all the knives sticking out. And she just looked at him like, dude, he's fucking pathetic. She even treated him like a she. I don't even think she even turned him. She didn't even turn him in that scene. When he fell down, she put her weight on him to make it go deeper in his back. But afterwards, she said, "All right, I'll be right back," because her grandma was like, "Yeah, I know what you guys are looking for. By the way, I'm doing this video all over the place, but they eventually came there to look for the dagger, the Darian dagger, something, something dagger, but the Kandarian dagger, because the dagger can kill the demons with one slice. Like it takes them out of their host, so they can't fight anymore. So they're looking for it seriously because the grandpa's one of the wise men. So pretty much after she puts her boyfriend there and just says, "All right, well, catch you," goes up there and the grandma's like, "The money, I know what you're looking for." So she's like, "Okay, where is it?" She goes, "The money's in my mattress, underneath my mattress in my room. Take it and go." So she looks at her and goes, "You're broken up here," because the grandma was clearly showing signs of memory loss, maybe a bit of Alzheimer's going on, and she turned her into a deadite so that way, she'll the mind will get going and maybe she'll help them find it. Yeah, but the grandma still didn't know where it was. So it was still pretty bad, but still, I thought that part was funny because the grandma really wasn't. She wasn't taken seriously at all. Like the deadites treated her like she was pathetic, because she couldn't really do anything. That I thought that was a nice touch. That was really fucking funny. Like the grandma was breaking a lot of the ice in the movie whenever something bad was happening. She would say something like, "Oh, she's trying to steal my money." Like no one cares about your money, right? She's a thief. But I thought that was pretty okay. Ooh, what else? I liked the amount of aggression with the father. Like when I saw him break in the when he got in the house and he saw Alice at the top of the stairs getting ready to start looking for the dagger, the way he aggressively wait, no, let's not even get to that part. Let's start where the son was getting his ass whooped. The second that man got in that house, he beat the dog shit out of his son. He whooped his ass. Like, let me see. I think his name is Joseph. Joseph got his ass beat so badly in this movie. I think that's the most masculine thing he did. He took that ass whooping like a champion. He did not tell them where the dagger was, and I'm sure he knew where it was, obviously, because he told her it was in the attic somewhere. And he was just keeping it quiet. The guy kept asking, "Okay, just tell us where it is." He ain't peep a word. He was getting thrown against the wall. He literally beat his ass all the way up the stairs to the attic, and then dropped back down and kept beating his ass on the ground. And then he turned his attention to Alice. So I'll give Joseph that. That's probably his shining star moment. That was like the most masculine thing he did all movie, getting his ass whooped and not telling people or telling the Deadites where the dagger was. So shout out to Joseph. One highlight. So after Joseph then did that, Alice, when she's at the top of the stairs after Joseph is out for the count, and the father sees her, the way he aggressively like runs up the stairs to go get her, I genuinely just looked at the screen and said, "Girl, you need to fucking run. That's a big ass man. He's about to wrap his hand. He's about to put belt to ass on you, my sister. You need to get this shit together." She ran away or whatever. That was pretty cool. Yeah, she ran quick. Also, I also like this part too, right? I keep damn, my storytelling's all over the place, but bear with me. This is my first couple videos. I liked the way the mother was portrayed, right? Even though she was an annoying character, she was understandably annoying because she's losing a lot, like very fast. Like her son just died, and now her whole family's tweaking out. Uh, the way they converted her, they didn't even beat her ass for real. They just like convinced her into helping her because they knew she was in an emotionally vulnerable state. And she kind of was like half deadite for a little bit, so she still had consciousness, but she was like kind of slowly converting to a deadite because instead of just beating her ass or killing her and then just taking over her body, like she just made it out. She started making out with her dead husband, her deadite husband, and from the saliva that they were sharing, she slowly got converted, which is funny enough. Not funny, but it was cool because it showed the more manipulative aspect of a deadite rather than like this raw aggression, like I brought up earlier. I really like that. I think this is the most manipulative I think I've seen deadites be. Like usually, like they always manipulate, but this, like they I don't even think they were that really aggressive in this film. Not as aggressive as they usually are. Like in Evil Dead, fucking 2013, you were getting hit with crowbars, shot with staple guns, fucking cutting hands off and shit. Uh, what else were they doing? Stabbing people. Evil Dead Rise, the fucking mom slaughtered that entire hallway. I don't even think there was. I think she manipulated somebody one time. She manipulated her daughter to open the door, to crack it open a little bit so she can get in. And that's the most manipulative thing. But this one, I thought that was really really nice. Even the girlfriend doing that to her boyfriend, that was cool too. I'm trying to figure out something else. I need to start writing scripts for my videos instead of just going off the dome. I did not think this movie was as brutal as it was advertised to be. I still think Evil Dead 2013 was definitely the most bloody and ruthless and Evil Dead I've ever seen. Right, for this one, people kept talking about a certain nasty scene. I'm trying to think about what they were talking about. Maybe like her fingers getting caught, the girl's fingers getting shut in the door and losing her fingers. That's not that nasty. But I will say, my movie theater definitely like all gasped when they saw that shit. When they saw her fingers slowly fall, it was like, ooh. So it hit really hard. That was really good. Also, oh, how could I forget this scene? When the boyfriend, right? This is when it first started because the first one to be infected was the father because he got infected by his son at his funeral. He went to go see the casket by himself, and his son kind of came out the casket and infected him with the deadite virus or whatever. He, oh my god, that scene they were trying to rush him to the hospital because he was like spitting up stuff and he just got to stabbing a dog. When Joseph and his girlfriend was in that car, that scene was fucking crazy, right? They were fighting in the car like hell. His dad fucking pushed him up against the roof, the sunroof, had him in the fucking with one arm, by the way. That was fucking insane. And his girlfriend was trying to fight too. That scene was kind of like sad because for some reason I didn't understand this, but instead of fighting his son, he targeted his girlfriend like a motherfucker. Like in that car, you would think you'd go for like the other man in the car because then if he's converted, all the ladies are fucked, right? Because it's a bunch of big ass men running around trying to get them. But no, he for some reason he just really targeted his girlfriend, and the guy was trying to help, but again, Joseph being a weak man, he did not apply enough pressure. Like he was not fighting hard enough for me, respectfully. Like it was one part where he was getting overpowered, he was getting his ass whooped, and Joseph had a gun in his car in the glove compartment, and his girlfriend was getting choked out with the fucking seatbelt. So he goes and grabs his gun, finally points it at his dad, and his dad goes, "Okay, go ahead and shoot me." And this dumbass didn't fucking shoot his dad. And I don't want to sound like a super macho guy. Like, oh yeah, I shoot my dad easy. I understand that it might be a little hard, but bro, that's clearly not your dad anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing shit that's so far out of character. He's violent as shit. Even if you don't want to shoot him in the face, shoot him somewhere. Shoot his fucking hand. Just make sure your girlfriend doesn't get strangled to death. You know? That's what I was thinking. And he he didn't do that. And his girlfriend, I don't know, maybe like I think the car or something. I don't remember. It's just a little fuzzy here. But point is, he ends up losing the gun somehow, right? And the girlfriend tries to crawl to the back seat, trying to get away from the dad, and the dad takes off a fucking headrest on one of the seats in the front seat and just starts hitting her in the face with it. And you see Joseph in the background climbing out the sunroof, or you're looking like what the fuck, right? Like what is he doing? Is he gonna go get like a rock or something to beat his dad over the head with? Like why is he leaving her by herself? And you watch her get her ass with this fucking headrest, and finally oh my god, this was a really good scene. He used like the metal, the sharp part of the headrest. I don't even know if it's sharp. That might make it even worse. He just forced put it in her cheek and puts it through her fucking mouth. It was crazy. So you see Joseph climb out, and now that the camera cuts to him, outside of the car after he finally gets out through the sunroof, he just runs away. Like he's just decided, yeah, fuck my bitch. Like he genuinely did not feel the need to protect her at all. And the whole movie theater was like, bro, you fucking suck. Like I love that out of my theater. Like everybody had the same thing. Like this one guy sitting next to me was like, dude, what the hell? You just left your girl there to get fucking murdered. And he ran away. And his dumbass didn't even take the gun with him. His dad ended up getting the gun. His possessed dad, his evil ass dad, his aggressive ass dad, ended up getting the fucking gun. And now, not only is this nigga bigger and stronger than you and faster than you, and he just converted your girlfriend to a deadite because he killed her, he now has a fucking gun. Shout out Joseph. Just stupid shit after stupid shit. He runs away. That whole scene was chaotic as fuck. Maybe I was a little too hard, or I wasn't excited enough about that because that was maybe I'm a little too desensitized because that seems actually pretty intense. Like seeing, I know what, like I can even imagine being in that situation, right? And like you're fighting your dad, and that shit's going on, trying to protect your lady. That's fucking insane. I'm still not cutting Joseph no type of slack, right? I think I cut him enough slack by saying he immediately shoot his dad in the face. But he should have done something more. Like you should not have just let your girl get taken like that. But he is a coward. That's how he was written. Joseph runs away, right? And the first thing that happens, his girlfriend comes in and she takes the headrest out her fucking cheek. A very nice scene. Walks over, say cheers with the fucking candlelight, drinks it. And by the way, that candle wax scene makes my fucking esophagus just ugh. Like it's nasty as shit. It made me want to regurgitate a little bit. And that was really good. Cause I couldn't even imagine like drinking hot wax. Like, bro, your fucking throat is so cooked. After that bitch like stop being so hot and it starts freezing up in your throat, I know you're gonna be doing that all day. Like I know that's so uncomfortable. So that was pretty alright. What else? What else? What else? What else was like? Oh, that was really interesting. I what do I like about this movie? I already said I like how the mom was like in the middle. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Alice should have killed her mom a little faster. Like killed that mom. Because when she was tied up in the bathroom, oh no. The mom really pissed me off. She played her fucking part. Because I remember Alice was getting her ass whooped, I think by the grandma at this point after she got turned. After that nasty ass scene where the girlfriend grabbed her dentures and just like kind of munched on them. She like munched them a little bit and gave it back to the grandma. That was fucking trifling. To convert her. But when the grandma was whooping Alice's ass, and they had like a not a weed whacker, but it was like a circular saw, but it was like I don't know what the tool is called. It's a power tool. The point is, a sharp thing was in the girl's face, right? And to start the power tool was a red button at the end of it. And while the girlfriend, right, was getting her head pressed against it while the power was still turned off, The grandma tells the mother, like, hey, go ahead and press that button to cut this bitch's faces off or face off. And the mother looks at Alice and go, I'm sorry, and tries to press the fucking power button to fucking kill Alice. What the fuck? Right? I understand being like emotionally cooked, but like still, that's clearly not your people. Your mother has not walked for years, right? So she's over here jumping, hooting and hollering, saying this crazy ass shit. And you just like what? You know what I'm saying? Like her mom pissed me off. So she did her job correctly. Alice was a better person than me. She tried to save her, put her in the fucking bathroom with her when she was trying to get. Oh, I just remembered a scene that had me in my seat scrunched up like, oh, I would hate to be Alice. Is when she was on the floor, right? And I believe it was a screwdriver. I no, it was a pin. It was a pin, right? And I think Alice tried to use the pin to stab the grandma, but the grandma ended up grabbing the pin. Oh, and she grabbed that pin and put it in Alice's ear, stabbed it in there. And you can hear her go deaf in that fucking ear. I think it was her right ear. It was so nasty. I did not like that shit. It didn't even have to be mad bloody. It's just such an uncomfortable scene to watch because you're just imagining like being in her shoes. Dude, I know that shit is just insane. I would hate that. She took it like a champ, gets back up miraculously. I think who comes to her aid to get the grandma off of her? Did she handle that herself? Maybe. I think yeah, she strapped the grandma to the chair or something. And since the grandma downstairs, like, I wrapped her up in a chair and cooked her. And that scene was funny too, because the grandma just like slowly slid downstairs, was just looking at her angry. That was really funny. But anyway, right? She grabs her mom, well, not her mom, but her stepmom. It's not stepmom. Her mother-in-law, right? And grabs her and goes to the bathroom to hide with her because all the crazy is going on. Joseph's still getting his ass up in the attic, and the grandma's going crazy. So she's getting ready to take this damn pin out her ear, and the mom's on the side like, "Oh, you're a terrible wife. My son did everything to make you happy. It's that and the third, bro." And this scene was a really good scene because she goes, "Hey, your son was an asshole. Like I have the scars to prove it. Like this guy was abusive as shit. He was a terrible fucking person." And she showed him the scar and everything, and the mother just got quiet. So, the mother kind of fucking sucked. She sucked really badly. I did not like the mother. Um, gets the uh, pin on her ear and then uses the little circular saw she had to go ahead and cut a hole to the attic from the bathroom. So that was smart. I did like how creative they got with like trying to the way the mom fought. All right, like when her mom finally got converted and she said you'd be dead by dawn and breaks out of the constraints that she was in that Alice put her in because she was like flopping sides, switching sides every now and again. She went ahead and grabbed some type of something. I think it was like some plastic, maybe from the shower curtain. I don't fucking know. And wrapped it around Alice's face and like crawled up a wall, so she was like being suffocated and kind of hung at the same time. That was really really cool. I thought that was really sick. It was creative. It was wild. Alice still got out of that. Shout out my girl. She fought hard, and she ended up getting the mom cooked. She put the little circular saw against her, which I clapped because I was happy that she finally packed her the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And that was pretty cool. The movie did a clap for that. I like that. And Alice finally gets to the attic, right? And in the attic, she's looking for the Kandarian dagger. And I love the way she was looking for it because she was like moving around, terrified. Because remember, this is like the secret weapon. This is why they're coming. This is what they're coming for, right? Her or the grandfather of the family that her in-laws, the grandfather and the in-laws, he was a wise man and he was researching how or looking for weapons to handle the Deadites, and that's why they're here in the first place because they're looking for that weapon, so they can't be beat so easily. So she's looking for the Kandarian dagger. She's like rummaging through boxes, throwing shit around, and finally, right after Joseph gets converted and starts sticking up his head through that little hole that she cut um, to get to the attic in the first place, he goes, "You're not gonna find it in time." So you're just looking at it. I was like, "Girl, you gotta find that dagger." So it's a bunch of daggers on the ground, right? And they all look like really unique. So she just starts trying shit. She starts grabbing shit and stabbing him. And he's like, "This ain't the one." So she's like stabbing him with a bunch of daggers, trying to figure out which one's the real one. Until finally she finds the real one that says KD. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I should have fucking known. By the way, fuck the granddad. Why the fuck would you make that dagger so fucking small? Like, that was like a pocket knife sized dagger. So now she has to get close to these crazy fucks every time she wants to vanquish them. So either way, even if she like lands a strike, it's gonna be a fight, right? So that kind of fucking sucks. I feel like he dropped the ball there. But whatever. Grandfather does what he wants. He's dead. Plus, he was a girl. Hey, by the way, I said he did. I don't even think it's confirmed that he died. They just said he left the family. And the grandma's still alive, so is it that crazy to assume the grandfather also couldn't be still alive? So maybe in one of the sequels, maybe in Evil Dead Wrath, they might give us a backstory on the grandfather. Who knows? That would be really fucking sick. So yeah, she finds the Kandarian dagger. And after she stabs him, and Joseph actually dies because he's no longer being a puppet to the Deadites because of the magic properties of the dagger. The mother that I thought was dead, genuinely like a dumbass, like she isn't a Deadite, popped her head through the little hole, and Alice goes ahead and goes out the window through the attic and climbs out the roof and goes ahead and also what pissed me off is when she like jumped off and onto the roof, she fucking dropped the Kandarian dagger. Like that's not her saving fucking grace. I was very confused with that. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you actually do that? That's very fucking stupid. But she did, and it rolled down the roof onto the front porch. She had to go all the way back downstairs just to get her hands on that thing again. So now she's back with a fucking circular weed whacker piece of shit that she had in the first place. So she goes ahead and climbs in the chimney, which was smart because it only gives them one way to come and get her, which gives her the advantage. So I do like the scene where the mother and the father were chasing after her on the roof, and they were going really fast. You see Alice like trying so hard to hurry up and get in the fucking chimney and go, and also the anxiety the scene brings or gives you when like she's trying to start up the fucking saw or whatever the fuck it is, uh, to kill the mother as she's coming down the chimney to get her, because her mother, dude, that woman was coming down that chimney so fucking fast, dude. It was really bad. She was coming for her life, like she was gunning for her. But she got the fucking the thing going, the little saw, cut her up, killed the mom, or at least cut off her head, and then goes downstairs and splits the father shit too, and sets the whole thing on fire. Right? Played French music, that was pretty cool. She runs out, get the Kandarian dagger, and the dog. Oh my god, the dog! That was so cool. That takes me back. Dude, I'm such a terrible storyteller. There was also a part I thought was really fucking cool. You know the part in every Evil Dead movie ever where the dumbass that sees this evil ass book, this mysterious ass book, this crazy looking ass book, and they just start reading the words, and there's always like some red lettering that says do not read these words, like bolded, like obviously telling you like, dude, don't do it, like you're gonna pay for it, and people still fucking read it because I don't know, the curiosity, like dumbasses, like they didn't just find this book in a creepy ass cabin or underneath the ground in your fucking high rise apartment, right? Fucking chained up and shit, where it's supposed to be trying to be hidden. Uh, she was getting ready to read the fucking words, and before she can say like the last word, she goes, "Fuck this shit." So really, shout out Alice for being the only Evil Dead character with brain cells. She's literally, she really would not have been in that situation. That was not her fault at all. That was genuinely because the Joseph in the beginning of the film was going through his grandpa's shit and revealed where the dagger was. He took it out of like some place the granddad had it wrapped up, and the second it came out of that little plastic bag or whatever, they ended up sniffing out where the fuck it was. Right? So shout out to Alice. I thought that was funny because right when she was about to do it, she literally goes, "Ah, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna read this. This is clearly a warning. Somebody clearly is warning me, telling me not to do it. It's clearly not a good idea." But the dog goes ahead and bursts through that window anyway, which is pretty cool. So, right, the dog comes and get her after she's burned down the house, and she stabs it as it jumps at her with the Kandarian dagger, and that's the end of her dog. You know, that was pretty cool. That little slow mo scene, and finally, everybody's been set on fire and or stabbed by the Kandarian dagger. Her husband comes back from the grave, or somebody controlling her husband, a deadite controlling her husband, comes back and starts following her, like out of the house, right? So, um, I did really like. I guess the psychological warfare was cool too, but I'm gonna be honest. I do think the beginning sequence of the ending parts, the end fight when she's running away, I loved that shot of her running, and it was like a bunch of red behind her in the forest. I thought that was so good. That was so cool. And also when she got inside of the little construction area, I feel like that's where for me it just wasn't as exciting to watch. Right? I just wasn't as invested. You know, typical thing. Instead of like the chainsaw to finishing her husband, though, she ended up just grabbing like a jackhammer and put it to his chest. That was pretty fucking cool. Even though they hinted that she was gonna get the chainsaw because she was pulling on a cord, and it kind of insinuated that the cord that what the cord was connected to was a chainsaw. So you thought that she was gonna pull down a chainsaw, but really she just pulled down a jackhammer and jackhammered his chest in. That was pretty fucking cool, I guess. And yeah, she gets the little hero thing. The cops come and save her. She's crying. And this movie, like, I love how with every Evil Dead film, it's like even though it's about Deadites trying to kill you, it has a deeper theme. Like Evil Dead Rise, the theme was family. In this one, I think it was just abusive relationships. Like when she finally got to the police asked her, "Hey, who did this to you?" And she just looks, dramatically in the camera after being quiet for like 2-3 minutes and goes, "My ex-husband." Crazy. That was pretty cool. So, if that is everything, I think it is. I I would say I would give this movie a 6 out of 10, and I was really looking forward to it. Maybe it's my fault for having such high expectations. It was not my favorite. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like Evil Dead Rise, but I really kind of liked Evil Dead Rise more than I like this one. Um, Maybe I should watch Evil Dead Burn one more time. Also, what may have affected my watch is the fact that I feel like in the previews or in the little scenes they released like to tease the movie, I feel like they showed like too many of the cool parts. Like the part where the girlfriend first got possessed, started attacking the family. I don't think we should have saw that. I don't think we should have saw the part where the grandma got possessed and start rising up. I didn't like that. They're showing too much of your creepy parts because there wasn't even that many creepy parts in this movie in the first place. And what else is there? Yeah, I felt that way. So a lot of things like the one thing with her, the girlfriend getting her fingers shut in the door. I saw that in the trailer already, so I didn't like the fact because I wasn't that shocked because I saw it coming, right? Also, the headrest being through her mouth, I knew. I will say though, I thought when I saw the trailer, when I saw the headrest in her mouth, I thought, oh, okay, maybe it was like a crazy car accident from fighting. No, just wow, watching somebody put a fucking headrest to somebody else's face is crazy. That was pretty cool though. But I think that affected my watch, expecting these things to happen. So for future reference, maybe for Evil Dead Wrath, don't show us too much. Don't show too many of the gruesome scenes. I didn't like that. I will say the first scene with the girl from Evil Dead Rise. I forgot her name. I'm not gonna look it up because I don't care that much. She that was in the water, that rose up before the title card. Her opening scene was very fucking wild. Like she wrapped their fucking faces with fish hooks. It was crazy. It was nuts. Um, I think the best Deadites in the film was definitely the girl in the water and the girlfriend. I don't think anybody else really stood out to me and just said, "Oh wow, I'd really hate to deal with them." Despite them, even though I'm sure I'd get my ass kicked by probably all of them, the ones for some reason I just really wouldn't deal with would probably be the girlfriend and the girl in the water. Really, the girl in the water. She was the most wild that I've seen in a while. Right? She just looked like she just didn't give a fuck. The two best that I said that was pretty cool. Also, the end credit scene. First there was a mid credit scene. The grandma that was pretty cool, right? And she was still alive because she wasn't in the house when it burned down. And she's clearly gonna keep looking for that dagger, so we're definitely gonna see her again, maybe. And anything, it could seem we got a cameo from the mother from Evil Dead Rise. And I don't think that scene is to be taken seriously. I think that was just like a silly fun scene because the girl got grinded into fucking hamburger at the end. Like she's not gonna look like that. She was like in full dead out form. She wasn't fused with nothing. She was like she looked the way she looked when she first got turned. So I was like, okay, so this is probably just some fun shit. She just goes and kills a little girl and says, "Oh, mama's back." So that was pretty cool too. But yeah, it was all right. I wasn't that crazy about it. I saw a lot of reviews, a lot of people on there saying, "Oh, this was like really, really good. Like you can't miss it." I disagree. I would still go see it. I'm probably gonna watch it again, see if it helps me maybe like it a bit more. Sometimes you might enjoy something more on the second watch, but this one definitely wasn't that crazy to me. I am still looking forward to Evil Dead Wrath. Again, I hope they don't show too much, and maybe for my sake, I just won't watch any of it from now on, right? None of the trailers or anything, so I can come in with like not knowing what's gonna happen. That's what I want to do. So yeah, thank you for watching, and come back and watch some more. Thank you.